Okay, so this is one of my favorite case study. This is an artist called Matchy. He's a melodic techno artist. This is his campaign. This is the first campaign that we did together about a few months ago. And I just want to show you the huge impact that our campaign had on his Spotify account. That's his Spotify for Artists right over here. This is his stats from the last 28 days, the amount of streams, the followers, the listeners, and we've only invested $6 or $7 per day in his campaigns, and that's my favorite part about these kind of campaigns. This is in ILS, so 821. It's almost like $250, I would say. Not accurately, but yeah, something like this. $250 for 30 days. This is the budget that we had for 30 days for Revolution. This is the name of the track. Now, I just want to show you the workflow that we did. So the first thing that we're doing as a marketing agency for our artists is, first of all, to bring streams and listeners, obviously, from social media into Spotify. In this case, we've used mostly Instagram and Facebook. So this is the campaign itself. This is the total amount spent. This is the amount of streams that we got. We got 1,200 streams from that campaign. We had such a small budget. 20 ILS is between $5 to $6 per day. It's a really low budget, maybe $7, but it's in between 5 to 7 anyway. And I just want to show you the workflow. So the first thing that we did was to do a very wide A/B testing campaign. So the first thing that we wanted to do is to ask Mechi, the artist, what kind of other artists that he want to target, what kind of artists that you want to get to their fan base and to get data from. So the first thing that we did was to help him to narrow down his artists to a few different kind of audiences. So in this case, let me show you just one of the ad sets that we did here. It's a CBO campaign. It's a campaign budget optimization. So that means that we had a total budget for the whole of the campaign, and then the Facebook business algorithm, Meta algorithm decided automatically, according to the algorithmic growth, which ad set and which ad would get the most budget and to get the best value for money. So in this case, this is just the targeted audiences. We've been targeting mostly active users, countries of Spotify. The age range is pretty wide, but from 18 to 45. And then we've targeted mostly according to genre. So here we did only house music. I know it's not techno, but in this case, we just wanted to get to as many audiences that we can. So we had around like 50 or 60 million people here in our potential reach, which we love this amount of exposure when it comes to the first kind of campaigns that we're doing. Later on, we're narrowing down the data that we're having, but in this case, wanted to get to a really, really wide audiences. So we had 3 different ad sets. These are other ad sets were targeted according to artists, genres, and then we had few other artists from the techno scene. So let's focus on the best performance ad set. In each and every one of those ad sets, we had the same kind of ads. So we wanted to test 4 different ads in each ad set, and we wanted to see which one of the ads we would have the best conversion to Spotify. So as you can see here, the ratio between that ad that got 700 smart links clicks, which means plays on Spotify, that's the conversion that we're measuring from the landing pages that we're working with on Hyped It. So we have a really, really wide ratio of clicks. So in this case, we're looking at 700 clicks here, and then the other ads we have between 1 to 4 clicks. So that means that the algorithm basically didn't let the other ads learn themselves. They spent such a small amount of money. We're talking about $1, below $1, and the rest of the budget obviously went down on, as you see here, just like very small numbers here, and the ads budget mostly spent on this specific ad. Let's give it a short listen. So we viewed many placements. We have the news feed, and let's give it a listen. So the format here looks a bit weird, but I don't know, it's a bug, I guess, in the system. But we had a widescreen kind of ad. It looked really good. And then you have the call to action button right here, listen now. And then when people are clicking listen now, they're getting to the Hyped It page that we've built for him. This is how it looks like. On the hype lead page, we have just like one click to Spotify. This is the call to action. And also when people are clicking on the play button, this is where in the pixel is counting the actual conversion, and not like traffic ad where people bring listeners from Facebook and Instagram only by using the Spotify link, and then they're losing the conversion along the way because people are getting to the web player and then they have to go back to the app. So in this case, we have a landing page with one button that helps people to get to the call to action that we want them to get to. So getting back to the ads manager, I just want to show you the impact that Facebook ads had on his Spotify for Artists. So this guy, once again, I'm opening his Spotify for Artists. This is his page currently. We did this campaign about 6 months ago. He had many other releases since then. And the most important thing for us was to bring the source of streams, first of all, from the profile catalog. Now, back then we started working, the profile catalog wasn't high at all. It was also around 8 to 10%. And my goal was to get it around to 40 and 50. And let me tell you why. Because I wanted to show the algorithm of Spotify that I can bring listeners, quality listeners to this artist, to bring listeners from social media into Spotify, and then later on to make sure that these listeners are having a long listening rate, and then that the algorithm would push the Spotify algorithmic playlist plays because it sees that we're bringing traffic independently from social media. That's one of the biggest goals. And then the other thing that happened almost naturally is that when people saw the ad on social media, they also added the songs to their playlists on Spotify. That means that they like the song, they added it to their personal library, and then this whole thing ended up having a huge impact on the Spotify editorials playlist, because the Spotify algorithmic playlist back then was around going up every day between 1% to 2%. At some point we got to a place that we had around 50 and 60% streams from Spotify algorithmic, and then Matchy, this amazing artist, got to a Spotify editorial playlist, and not for the first time in his life, it's important to mention, but with this particular track we did that. So if I'm going back to Revolution, let me find this track right over here. Right now this track have some streams, not a lot, but as you can see, the algorithmic playlist is still happening, and I just want to remind you that we've invested in this campaign only $250 in total. Yes, this is the only thing that we've invested back then, and my favorite thing about these campaigns is that they have such a positive impact on the Spotify algorithmic playlist that these streams are just keep on coming on and on, even when we're shutting off the campaign. And now obviously we have other campaigns running with other tracks. The latest track that we're promoting was Open Sky, and now we're working on Chartist. But the thing is that these campaigns have such good performances only because Matchy is working by the book. This guy is absolutely an amazing producer. He's an amazing DJ, and as you see, with good marketing, we are reaching out to a really good fan base that actually helps him to keep his Spotify page up all the time with an average monthly listeners of over 100,000 streams. That's it. See you soon.